Critical Role just pulled the trigger on its big bad, an epic D&D pinball machine, and our brutally honest review of Nosferatu.
The vampire. Nosferatu.
Welcome to 5 for Friday, our look back at 5 of the biggest stories of the week. This week we're talking about Critical Role, the D&D pinball machine, and Hannah gives her thoughts on Nosferatu. Now remember, if you like these kinds of videos, be sure to like and subscribe so we can keep making them. Now, on to the news. Critical Role opened 2025 with a major decision and one character undergoing a major status quo change. Now, you may recall that Critical Role ended 2024 with a big victory against Ludinus, who they defeated and captured with, frankly, way too much ease. Well, it turns out that Ludinus was just able to transfer his soul into a clone body and allowed his old body to literally bubble and erode away. Bell's Hell spent the rest of the episode dealing with the Predathos question. Predathos, of course, being that god-eating entity who just wants to eat all of the gods and is kind of trapped in the moon. Well, they had an opportunity to free Predathos and discovered that the god-eating entity was basically like a child with a very big appetite. Matt basically forced the party to finally make a choice about what to do with Predathos, whether to keep it imprisoned or release it, or try to figure out some third option. Imogen ended up reaching out to Predathos and became its vessel, and Fern had to try to keep Imogen's personality somewhat intact to keep her from becoming the big bad. Now, of course, with Imogen now being kind of possessed, taken over, maybe, by Predathos, it looks like we now know who the big bad of the campaign is going to be. Or things could go in a totally different direction. I guess we'll find out, but it looks like Critical Role's Campaign 3 is wrapping up very soon.
Well, my work here is done.
In other D&D news, Matt Mercer is narrating a D&D adventure featuring the likes of Michael Dorn, Laura Bailey, Kevin Smith, and Gerard Way. This might sound like a D&D live show, but it's actually the new Dungeons & Dragons pinball machine developed by Stern Pinball. D&D The Tyrant's Eye is a new pinball game that features an animatronic dragon called Wrath the Relentless, voiced by Michael Dorn. Players can actually create a character and guide it through a campaign, with players also able to save their character and basically pick things up every time they play. So when they waste their money and immediately lose their 3 balls, they don't lose all that character creation that they just went through. 3 versions of the game are now available to purchase, starting at the low price of $6,999.
You are being attacked by a gelatinous cube.
An Assassin's Creed war game could be coming in 2025. Mantic Games has revealed that they have a license to produce some kind of Assassin's Creed game. Mantic is best known for making Walking Dead All-Out War, which is a miniatures game, as well as the popular new Halo Flashpoint miniatures game. Now, no further details were provided about what Mantic has up its sleeves, so they could just be making an Assassin's Creed board game, but I guess we're looking forward to finding out more later this year. A new champion is coming to Space Marine 2. A Salamander sniper is coming to game later this year per Saber Interactive's recently announced plans for its popular Warhammer game. Also in the works is a new PvP map, a new Horde mode, and some kind of future champion involving the Raven Guard. It looks like this popular Warhammer game will continue to grow throughout 2025, so if you like shooters, be sure to jump into it now if you haven't already.
For the Emperor!
And finally, for those asking in the comments, what's Hannah been up to besides playing BG3? Well, for one thing, she's been playing a lot of Dragon Age. However, she's back today with a review of Nosferatu. Take it away, Hannah, and don't hold back.
Yes, much like Count Orlok himself, I am once again emerging from the shadows to yap. On to Nosferatu. Director Robert Eggers' take on Nosferatu finally hit theaters last week, and it seems like this version of the film will be every bit as influential on filmmaking going forward as its 1922 predecessor. If you're like me and you adore Bram Stoker's Dracula, then you'll enjoy Nosferatu. Eggers understands the painstaking build of dread in the novel, and while this pacing may be a little difficult for those unwilling to pay attention to the film in full, the longer stretches are at least filled up with some of the most stunning cinematography out of the genre in years, if not any film genre, period. Its various aspects connect together to join into a grander masterpiece. The writing allows its cast to do their finest work, which they repeatedly do, particularly Depp and Skarsgård, and these impeccable performances are matched by beautiful costuming and set designs, and precise camera work and use of shadows. I felt exactly as I did reading Dracula for the first time, uneasy and dreadful and claustrophobic in the face of these feelings creeping throughout me like a shadow. Ultimately, I give the film a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and my only true disappointment from seeing it in the theaters was a lack of audience etiquette and respect.
That's all from us this week. Let us know what your favorite story was in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Above the Table.